Assalamu alaikum, alhamdulillah, bismillah, bismillah, bismillah. In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful, bismillah, rahman, Shaban, Ramadan, 1441 AH, volume 36, number 4, Summit's Perspective, monthly bulletin of the International Committee of Summiters, published by Mr. Tuxin, April. Is April for fools? Well, April Fool's Day is the first day of the month, and perhaps you had a trick to played on you, or played one on someone else. It can be silly and fun, but it can also be cruel and hurtful. But this year, April brings us Ramadan, and praise God, and Ramadan is no joke. Ramadan is the month during which the Surah 2 verse 185. Ramadan is the month during which the Quran was revealed, providing guidance for the people, clear teachings, and a statute book. Those of you who witness this month shall fast therein. Those who are ill or traveling may substitute the same number over the days. God wishes for your convenience, not hardship, that you may fulfill your obligation and to glorify God for guiding you and to express your appreciation. Fasting during Ramadan is such a gift from God to Surah 2 verse 183. Or you believe fasting is decreed for you as it was decreed for those before you, that you may attain salvation. Ramadan is a time to commemorate, celebrate, worship, rejoice, a time to grow our souls, and work on shrinking our egos with the goal of attaining everlasting salvation. It's a time to be righteous as we possibly can be, and try to make those righteous thoughts and deeds a habit that can continue throughout the year. God makes it easy for us. Surah 2, verse 184. Specific days that is designated for fasting. If one is ill or traveling, an equal number of other days may be substituted. Those who can fast but with great difficulty may substitute feeding one poor person for each day or breaking the fast. If one obtains more righteous right, it is better. But fasting is best for you if you only knew. Fasting is the best for us, but if we are unable, God gives us a way to make it up by feeding the poor, and we can volunteer to do more. And there are so many more righteous works to do. Surah 23, verse 60. As they give their charities, their hearts are fully reverent, but they recognize that there will be some before the Lord. Surah 23:61. They are eager to do righteous work, they compete in doing them. Surah 11, verse 114. You shall observe the contact prayer, Salah, at both ends of the day and during the night, and the righteous works wipe out the evil works. This is a reminder for those who will take heed. Surah 16, verse 96, that what you possess runs out, but what God possesses lasts forever. We shall reward those who steadfastly persevere. We will recompense them for their righteous works. Those who believe, Surah 29, verse 7, those who believe and lead a righteous life, we will certainly remit their sins, and we will certainly reward them generously for their righteous work. Surah 3, verse 114, they believe in God and the last day, they advocate righteousness and forbid evil, and they hasten to do righteous works. They are the righteous. We have some message to wish everyone a blessed Ramadan, 1441 April, May 2020. Responsibility. The Merriam-Webster dictionary defines responsible as liable to be called on to answer, liable to be called to account as the primary cause, motive, or agent responsible for the job. Synonyms accountable, answerable, liable. So if we look at the Quran, our responsibility as humans started when we chose freedom of choice, which makes sense. If we want to make the choice, we should be held responsible. Freedom of choice. Surah 33:72. We have offered the responsibility, freedom of choice to the heavens and the earth and the mountains, but they refused to bear it and were afraid of it. The human being accepted it, he was transgressing, ignorant. Related to that may be the concept that if we are forced, we are not responsible. We may not be responsible, or if we tried our best sincerely, we still fell short. And God knows our intentions, what is in our hearts. Lip service does not count. 16, verse 106. Those who disbelieve in God after having acquired faith and become fully content with disbelief and incur the wrath of God. The only ones to exceed are those who are forced to profess disbelief while their hearts are full of faith. Surah 16, verse 106, appendix. God wisdom decrees that if someone holds a gun to your head, orders you to declare that you disbelieve in God, you may grant him his wish. Or the half hours is what counts. Surah 2, verse 225. God does not hold you responsible for the main utterances of oaths. Paul is responsible for the innermost intention. God is forgiving, clement. Responsibility for our own words. We are responsible for our own words, so it's important to do righteous works. Surah 53, verse 39. Every human being is responsible for his own works. Surah 53, for everyone works will be shown. Surah 53, 41. Then they will be paid fully for such works. Surah 34, 25. Say, you are not responsible for our crimes, nor are we responsible for what you do. Surah 2, verse 134. Such is our community from the past. They are responsible for what they earn, and you are responsible for what you earn. You are not answerable for anything they have done. Surah 28, verse 55. When they come across vain talk, they disregard it and say, we are responsible for our deeds. You are responsible for your deeds, peace be upon you. We do not wish to behave like the ignorant ones. While we are not responsible for others, we are responsible for doing the right thing when we interact with them. Surah 6, verse 52. And do not dismiss those who implore the Lord day and night and devote themselves to Him alone. You are not responsible for their reckoning, nor are they responsible for your reckoning. If you dismiss them, you will be a transgressor. Our words may not be restricted to what we do, what we physically do. So if we mislead people, we are responsible. Of course, the flip side is if we meditate on verse 4:85, Surah 4, verse 85, God willing, we get a share of that. Also, we see from Surah 29, verse 12 to 13, that even if someone misleads us, God forbid, we still account for what we choose. We say, or any human can only invite. Ultimately, each individual chooses for themselves. Surah 16, verse 25, they will be held responsible for their sins on the day of resurrection, all of them, in addition to sins of all those whom they misled by their ignorance or miserable laws. Surah 4, verse 85, whoever mediates a good deed receives a share of the credit thereof, and whoever mediates an evil work, because the share thereof God controls all things. Surah 29, verse 12, those who disbelieve said to those who believe, if you follow our way, we will be responsible for your sins. Not true, they cannot bear any of their sins, they are liars. Surah 29, verse 8, in fact, they will carry their own sin in addition to loads of other people's sins for which they were responsible. Most certainly, they will be asked on the day of judgment about the false claims. A logically related concept to each soul being responsible for themselves is that we cannot guide anyone. God is the only one who guides. Surah 2, verse 272, you're not responsible for guiding anyone. God is the only one who guides, no one who chooses to be guided. Any charity you give is for your own good. Any charity you give shall be for the sake of God. Any charity you give will be repaid to you without the least injustice. Only God guides. Surah 28, verse 56, you cannot guide the ones you love. God is the only one who guides in accordance with His will and in accordance with His knowledge of those who deserve the guidance. Surah 24, verse 54, say obey God and obey the messenger. If they refuse, then He is responsible for His obligation, and you are responsible for your obligation. If you obey Him, you will be guided. So the duty of the messenger to deliver the message. Still, it's helpful to remind effectively if we submit to God and recognize God is running everything. However, if we do our part with good intention and seeking to please God alone, God only will benefit. We remind using Quran, Surah 6, verse 70. Lest we forgive people and reminders. You can only imagine how bad it will be for the religious leaders, mislead people use Satan's ideology. We must stick to what God tells us to do in Quran. Respect the word for the word of God. Surah 6, verse 68. If you see those who mock our revelation, you should avoid them until they delve into another subject. The devil causes you to forget, then as soon as you remember, do not sit with such evil people. Surah 6, verse 69. The righteous are not responsible for the influence of those people, but it may help to remind them perhaps they may be saved. Surah 51, verse 55. And a reminder for the remaining benefits of believers. Surah 4, verse 84. You should fight for the cause of God. You are responsible for only your own soul and exhort the believers to do the same. So along those lines, we are to exhort one another for good. Parents particularly have a responsibility for children, which is not too different from the expectation in this life, where parents take responsibility for helping their children and providing their accomplishments. We cannot force our children, but we can enjoin them. Reflect on how we're doing it. Are we trying to force them, or are we sincerely doing it to please God? Surah 22, verse 182, you should enjoin your family to observe the contact rest of the steadfast person. In doing so, we don't ask you for any provisions. We are the ones who provide for you. The ultimate triumph belongs to the righteous. Surah 14, verse 81, exhort my servants to believe to observe the contact rest of the land, to give to charity from our provisions to them, secretly and publicly before the day comes where there is neither trade nor nepotism. We are responsible for ourselves. Surah 2, verse 284. To God belongs everything in the heavens and the earth. Whether you declare your innermost thoughts, keep them hidden, God holds you responsible for them. Forgives whoever you will, punishes whoever you will, God is omnipotent. Surah 2, verse 29. Say whether you can see the end of our souls or declare it, God is fully aware thereof, is fully aware of everything in the heavens and the earth. God is omnipotent. Surah 11, verse 5. Indeed, they hide their known souls as if to keep him from knowing them. In fact, as they cover themselves with their clouds, he knows all the secrets and declaration. He knows the innermost soul. He knows the innermost source. Surah 39, verse 7. If you disbelieve, God does not need anyone, but he decides to seize the servants, make the wrong decision. If you decide to be appreciative, he is pleased for you. No soul bears the sins of any other soul. Ultimately, to your Lord is your return, and he will inform you of everything you have done. He is fully aware of the innermost source. The Quran says in great miracle and blessing being great responsibility. Surah 5 verse 114 said, Jesus, son of Mary, our God, Allah sent down to us a feast from the sky, let it bring plenty for each and every one of us, and sign from you to provide for us. You're the best provider. Surah 5 verse 115, God said, I'm sending it down. Anyone among you disagrees after this, I will punish him as I never punished anyone else. Notes, Surah 5, verse 40, 140, God's overwhelming miracle, Appendix 1, is described in Surah 74:35 as one of the greatest miracles and brings with it an uncommonly great responsibility. Surah 2, verse 211 asks the children of Israel how many profound miracles have we shown them. For those who describe the blessings bestowed upon them by God, God is most strict in retribution. Now, Surah 2, verse 211, the God's mathematical miracle is a great blessing. It brings with it an awesome responsibility. Please see Surah 5, verse 115. Specifically, the responsibility for being clothed. Surah 33, verse 28. A prophet said to your wives, if you are seeking this life and its vanities, then let me compensate you, allow you to go amicably. Surah 33, verse 29. But if you're seeking God and His mercy and the body of the hereafter, that God has prepared for the righteous among you a great recompense, special responsibility. Surah 33, verse 30. O eyes of the prophet, if any of you commits a gross sin, the retribution will be doubled for her. This is easy for God to do. Surah 33, verse 31. Anyone of you obeys God and His messenger and leads a righteous life will grant her a double recompense, the recompense, and we have prepared for her a generous provision. So also in terms of worldly blessings, it seems reasonable that we're responsible for what God gives us, and the more we have, the more we are responsible for. Surah 24, verse 22, those among you who are blessed with resources or wealth should be charitable towards their relatives, the poor, those who have emigrated for the sake of God. You should treat them with kindness and tolerance. Do you not love to take God's forgiveness? God is forgiven, most merciful. To conclude, we choose free will, Surah 72. So we are responsible for what we think and do, and may God help us choose the right path so that when we stand before Him, we are ready to present our account. The believers, Surah 69, verse 19 to 20. As for the one who receives his record with his right hand, he will say, come read my record. I did believe that I was going to be held accountable. Surah 9, verse 11. You should choose the difficult path. Surah 9, verse 12. Which one is the difficult path? Surah 9, 30. The freeing of slaves. Surah 19, 14. Feeding during the time of hardship. Surah 19, 15. Orphans who are related. Surah 19, 16. The poor who is in need. Surah 19, 17. And being one of those who believe is not one of those to be separate, is not one of those to be kind. So 18, these don't deserve happiness. Bears. Be included in our email list for weekly reminder. God has blessed us with the opportunity to send weekly emails, submit us on our list. The email is not long, just usually consists of a topic and the related Quranic verses and links to get more information. The reminder is sent once a week on Thursday or Friday, God willing. So 51 verse 55, a reminder for the reminder benefits of believers. You can join the list by visiting submit muslim.org, muslimtescon.org/current/weekly.html or by emailing us info@muslimtescon.org and saying what you want to be, saying you want to be in the weekly reminder list. If you want to make it a really short email, write weekly reminder in the subject line and send it. Praise be to God. In 6 Quranic verses, God repeats the phrase, Praise be to God, Lord of the universe. Surah 1, verse 2, Praise be to God, Lord of the universe. Surah 6:45, the wicked are thus annihilated. Praise be to God, Lord of the universe. Surah 10, verse 10, the prayer therein is be glorified our God, the greeting therein is peace, and the ultimate prayer is Praise be to God, Lord of the universe. Surah 37, 182. Praise be to God, Lord of the universe. Psalm 37, 39, verse 5. Oh, you will see the angels floating around the throne, glorifying and praising the Lord. After the equitable judgment is issued to all who proclaim, praise be to God, Lord of the universe. Psalm 40, verse 65. He is the living, there is no God except He. You shall worship Him alone, devoting your religion absolutely to Him alone. Praise be to God, Lord of the universe. This verse shows that whether it's in this life, Surah 1, verse 2, or in the hereafter, Surah 10, verse 10, and Surah 39, verse 75, all praise belonging to God. As a matter of fact, it's a timeless statement. We also see Surah 28, verse 70, He is one God, there is no other God beside Him. To Him belongs all praise in this first life and in the hereafter. All judgment belongs to Him, and to Him He will be returned. It is also a blessing from God that we say, Praise be to God, Lord of the universe, every day in our contact with Allah. We shouldn't be waiting for the hereafter to proclaim this eternal truth statement. We must start now. God willing, that will help us be among those described in Surah 17:52. The day He summons you, you respond by praising Him, and you will then realize that you're last in this life but a short while. Surah 26, verse 88 to 89. That is the day when neither money nor children can help. Only those who come to their God with a whole heart will be saved. This statement, praise be to God, also is a means of uniting people under the banner of God alone. All submitters from all religions are happy to recognize the message of this statement. It is true. It removes the human factors and focuses on praising the one true God. Surah 2, verse 62. So surely those who believe, those who are Jewish and Christians and the Commonwealth, anyone who believes in God and believes in the last day, leads a righteous life, will receive their recompense from the Lord. They have nothing to fear, nor will they grieve. Surah 110, verse 10. Surah 110, verse 1. When triumph comes from God and victory, Surah 110, verse 2, you will see the people embracing God's religion is wrong. Surah 110, verse 3, you should glorify and praise your Lord, imploring for forgiveness. He is a Redeemer. I'd like to share some mathematical facts based on the Quran's common denominator, the number 19, spanning 6 verses with the phrase, Praise be to God, Lord of the universe. These facts increase my faith. Adding surah numbers from the 6 verses, we get 1 plus 6 plus 10 plus 87 plus 39 plus 40 plus 133 equal 133 equal 19 times 7. These 6 verses have the following numbers of letters. 1 Surah 1 verse 2 has 17, Surah 6 verse 45 has 41, Surah 10 verse 10, Surah 10 verse 10 has 64, Surah 6 37 verse 182 has 18, Surah 39 verse 75 has 75, and Surah 40 verse 65 has 52. If we add the Surah number of verses and letters, we get 1 plus 2 plus 17 plus 6 plus 45 plus 41 plus 10 plus 10 plus 64 plus 37 plus 132 182 plus 18 plus 39 plus 75 plus 75 plus 40 plus 65 plus 52 equals 779 equal 19 times 41. Among these 6 occurrences, the phrase Praise be to God, Lord of the universe, occurs in the last verse of the two of these surahs, i.e. Surah 37, 39. If you sum them up, you get 37 plus 39 equals 76, 19 times 4. There are additional mathematical relations with the occurrence of Surah 39 verse 75. 39 plus 75 equals 114 equal 19 times 6. There are 114 surahs in the Quran, and from Surah 1 for the first appearance of the phrase to Surah 39, we have 38 surahs equal 19 times 2. References Universal Unity, Smith's Perspectives from September 1987 by Rashid Khalifa. One of the great miracles, Surah 74, 35, Appendix 1, the Quran, Third New Testament, authorized English version by Dr. Rashid Khalifa. That was the Praise be to God was written by Abir. MashaAllah, MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Shukr alhamdulillah, shukr alhamdulillah. Inshallah, inshallah. Allah Akbar, that's beautiful message and amazing uh, Quranic versus uh, uh, providing a lot of ideas, mashallah, narrative, with the subject, and alhamdulillah, uh, alhamdulillah, referencing the Quran really well there, mashallah. Top the ideas. Alright, inshallah. I had up all night and saw on Siyan. This I've written 6 hours ago. Catch if timelines. I was up all night and saw it on Siyan. Blossom starting night with spying, scheming, illusion, white supremacy. Dirty capability, spiders on Mars, NASA corrupted, abducted pirates and gold diggers, hating, provoking all the evilings of English gins, buckets of G for the wicked. Or down all day humble submission, for testament, reverence, all for one for all, by all means necessary, the kindness, prefer for the night of destiny, accepting whatever will be, submitting totally to one Allah, redeem the soul, to observe the contact breath, devoted to coordinating divine scriptures in all submit upon Mars, prepare to of street dwelling in strict monotheism, appreciative, humble, and love one Allah, coordinating by mathematics of book, not of the for the righteous. All bad behavior is condemned. Less of backbite, please. All of you crack uglies, different devils, philosophy, Buddhists, gold diggers, gold is cursed, arrogant, aging, psychiatrists, aging, provocative, despisers, nothing impossible, date capabilities of life. A soaring pig hawks and this being a grave robber hated by the Adam. By all means necessary, prepare for night of destiny. Zion Temple, Smith the Image, SoundCloud.com. Observing Salah works certain parts of the body well, prostrating works your calf muscles, and also when your head goes to the ground and your arms are at the sides, works your front shoulders, lifting up from the ground, helps your hands touch the ground to lift you up, also helpful in the car. But many people have to do cognitive therapy to get their hand better for master's form. Bowing, standing, help the upper half, and observing Salah, and supplicating in moderate tone, help all the body start to worship, but remember Allah. MashaAllah. Alright. Alright, inshallah, Allah Akbar.